Women represent 75% of the healthcare workforce, but fewer than 20% of executive healthcare leaders are women. Academic medicine and science represent the root of this inequity. Here, the centuries-old culture of a male-dominated profession has perpetuated a hierarchical environment where studies show that sexual harassment is common, the gender pay gap is durable, and burnout is frequent. The Center for Women in Academic Medicine and Science was founded by women who overcame the odds to serve as senior academic leaders and who are committed to driving the cultural change we need to support equity. The numbers speak for themselves. 19% of all medical school department chairs are women. The percentage of women deans of medical schools, positions that often include leading the academic medical center, has plateaued. As Dr. George Thibault, former president of the Josiah Macy Jr. Foundation, a powerful ally for gender equity, and a CWAMS senior advisor, explains, for nearly 2 decades, the percentage of women in leadership positions in academic medicine and science has stayed stubbornly in the range of 15 to 18%. At this rate, we would not achieve the Macy Foundation goal of women being 50% of our chairs and deans until the years of 2080 or 2085. Why, despite wide-scale and growing support for gender equity, has this problem been so intractable? Understanding the paths to executive leadership for women in academic medicine and science illuminates critical junctions along the way. Over the past 2 decades, women have represented approximately 50% of medical students. This tells us that anyone who would suggest women aren't pursuing careers in medicine in sufficient numbers to achieve equity in leadership roles is plainly incorrect. However, Black, Latina, Native American women are underrepresented among medical school graduates. Any effort to address gender equity in leadership must address this initial pipeline issue with programs that intentionally support women of color and others underrepresented in medicine, including low-income and first-generation students. In residency training, we see that many of the 24 specialties maintain their traditional male majorities, with numbers of women tracking far behind in surgical and other subspecialties. So, while women are making progress in some specialties, gaps in equity in other specialties are being perpetuated. Recent research suggests that this gender segregation could have significant negative impacts in the long term, including decreased prestige and salaries for so-called women's specialties. Failure to enter male-dominated arenas also propagates the family-unfriendly work environments for students, trainees, and physicians in these very specialties. In science, where women have been the majority of doctoral students for well over 25 years, we still see that they do not obtain the majority of postdoctoral positions, the next step toward higher-level positions in science. After completing training, women who enter academia find a grueling path to senior and executive positions. They are overrepresented as instructors and assistant professors, with fewer resources, heavier service loads, and more home responsibilities. Since leadership positions are frequently drawn from full professorial ranks, failure to advance up the academic ladder presents a significant challenge to achieving leadership impact. But even in specialties where women represent the majority of faculty, they are far from a majority of leaders. For example, while women comprise 58% of pediatric faculty, they still only account for 28% of pediatric chairs. Our roadmap to accelerate women's leadership in medicine must tackle these identified junctures, from increasing the entry of underrepresented women into medicine to encouraging the entry of women into specialties where they are still significantly underrepresented. And finally, by supporting women in their journey to senior faculty and leadership in academia through the specific programs of the Center for Women in Academic Medicine and Science. We are not waiting to 2080 or 2085. We hope you'll join us.